got a whole bunch of things to talk about, but I thought maybe we could start by just talking about your background.
Okay.
You grew up in Victoria.
I did, yeah,
but
Victoria.
But your parents are both from the same island in the Azores off Portugal.
Yes, they are.
Which just to say the word makes me think of what a beautiful place that must be.
Yeah.
But
the remains of Atlantis.
ooh.
So they say.
Tell us about how this has sort of impacted your life and shaped you as a person and as a musician, your background and your Portuguese heritage.
Wow. Well, first of all, every time I go to the Azores and every time that like my feet touch the ground in San Miguel, I just feel like a different person. I just feel connected to my ancestors. My bloodline can be traced back there for like 600 years since it was, you know, since the beginning there in San Miguel. And I just, being Portuguese has been a big part of who I am too. You know, I'm a first generation kid, you know, my parents were immigrants, although I was born here. And they made sure I didn't forget where I was from. And I think the traveling there in the summertime helped for that. The other part was the music. My father used to take me to these things. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about fado music. It's a UNESCO World Heritage style of music, fado, because it's so old and so great.
Tell us a little bit for those who might not know about it.
Fado is the song of saudade, which is this Portuguese word that means longing. And it really has no direct translation. It's like nostalgia. There are Portuguese people that are nodding their heads. I see one. And
well,
so...
Isn't it sort of it's the sadness, but also the longing and
yes.
the memories?
Yes.
It's such a beautiful, rich
It's like
style.
reveling and being a drama queen, which I can connect to. No, no, that's not true. It's very beautiful. But in the islands, so our most famous fado singer is Amalia Rodriguez. She passed away about 15 years ago, I think. But anyway, my father would take me to an event that kind of looked like this, like where there'd be twinkly lights and it'd be a festa, like a Portuguese festival. And there'd be a stage and there'd be a couple of like 12-string guitarra players, Portuguese guitar, and there would be, you know, all these men in their hats with feathers and tweed coats and everything. And he would take me out and it'd be really late at night. And I'd see these people singing on stage, and they would kind of be battling each other because the desafio style of fado, canções de desafio, especially when you bring that to like a village on an island, was kind of the rough and ready version of fado, where people were just kind of up there, just kind of telling stories about their neighbors, gossiping on stage and battling back and forth, and one would sing a verse, then the other would come right back. So I'd be like, John, you know, telling you about whatever happened last week, you know, at church or whatnot, and then you'd come back at me with a rebuttal. So to me, this felt very much, and then all of a sudden my father would appear on stage out of nowhere, and he'd be singing, you know, a bit of fado. And to me, it felt very spontaneous, and I think that's where I got my love of like the microphone, to just like the fact that like you could grab a microphone and be powerful. You could grab a microphone and kind of like change people's minds in some way. And that also gave me this idea for like this sort of free singing that I sometimes do, where the lyric and melody just comes to me all of a sudden. Like we're at Luminato, and I'm with Ben Sisario, and we are at the TimesTalks talking. You are all together, and whether it's the weather. No, it didn't bring the rain today, but I gotta say I thank you for coming. I don't need no drumming, I got you.
Wow! Wow. I gotta tell you, before you were in here, Nelly and I sat here for like half an hour sound checking, just talking, and this did not come up. Here we are at a festival of creativity in the arts. Let's talk about how you work, and how you collaborate with other people. I think that's a big part of how you have worked in the past, right?
Yeah.
How do you choose who you're going to work with and who does what?
Ben, if you told me you want to go to the studio right after, I'd be down. I'd go with you. It's as simple as that.
You can wear whatever you want.
For real, it's like, I love collaborating with people.
But one thing that's coming up tomorrow is that
Yeah.
you are participating in Contemporary Colors.
Yes, I am.
Totally fascinating project that David Byrne has put together. Tell us about, how this came to be, how you got involved with it, and a bit about what you're doing.
Well, he asked me to be a part of Contemporary Color, and he called me. I was in London last August, and I was like over there doing some creative stuff, and I was walking around Camden Market with my sister, and then I get a phone call from David Byrne, and I was like, whoa, this is neat. It's such a colorful place, Camden Market's colorful, and I like some $5 hat I just bought, and I'm walking around, and it's like, hello, it's David, and I want you to be a part of this thing, this Contemporary Color thing. And I'm like, really? Me? Wow, because he told me all the cool people that are a part of the show. And he said, I was like, do you want me to sing, what song do you want me to sing? He said, well, I'd like you to write something new. And I was like, great, that sounds exciting.
What did he say about what it was and what the whole project was about?
He was kind of like, it's color guard. It's this amazing folk art from these high schoolers, and they wave around colored flags, and they throw swords and rifles, and I was like, wow, it sounds cool, because for me, I like stuff like that. The group that I'm performing with is actually from Kitchener-Waterloo. Yeah, they're called Ventures. Yeah, and they're all girls from 14 to 19 years old, and they spend 5 days a week rehearsing color guard. And a lot of these kids are kids who wouldn't normally have been in, the cheerleading team or the marching band even, and they're attracted to color guard because it attracts a little bit more of an insular type of person, or maybe somebody with a different disposition. And that's what attracted David Byrne to this type of folk art, and he's making a documentary about it. So you're gonna see, if you're at that show, I hope some people here are going to the show, because, yeah, it's on. I was at rehearsal in New York 2 nights ago, and it's phenomenal. The band is amazing. All the artists involved, from Tune Yards, St. Vincent, Devonte Hines, Adam and Mark, David Byrne. We have all these people, and they've watched their color guard group, and they've created customized music for this. So it's so creative, and it's so orchestral, and it's really beautiful, and you're gonna really love it. I'm so happy to be a part of it.